Today's video, well, we're going to be talking about In the Dead of Winter, which is a thriller from York Pictures, released December 31st, 1993. Now, this is shot on video. It's an ultra micro budget thriller. Acting is really crappy. It stars G. Joe Reed and Timothy Ehlers. It was produced by Tanya York and written directed by Joseph Bangley, who also has done other shot on video films like Belong and Out of Focus and things like that. So I haven't seen any of those, by the way. But yeah. Basically, the story was actually pretty interesting. It's a guy gets out of prison, and he still has bad intentions. He was um, robbing places and harassing people and stuff. And this time, he wanted to get revenge and go on a killing spree. So basically, he finds the cop who caught him and attempts to murder him right at the beginning, and then him and his pals go exploring, and then there's this couple that goes to an abandoned house for a weekend getaway in Utah in the winter, and they basically want to have a romantic night and stuff, and these guys find them and slowly mentally torture them for most of it. And yeah, it's about you basically owe it them to being captive. You sort of feel for them. They definitely play mind games a lot. They bury the boyfriend in the ground and drive around him with a snowmobile, saying that they're going to run him over and stuff. And then they bring out the girlfriend to watch it. And I hope how other things happen. And then once someone starts following them and starts shooting at them and harassing the people who are harassing the other people who have they actually murdered them later on in the film. But and then it's a running through the forest trying to figure out who it is. And it's a little predictable, but overall it wasn't a bad concept. I thought it was actually pretty decently shot revenge type thriller. I'm going to spoil it right now, but it's the cop that he's tried to kill in the beginning, trying to get revenge. But for the most part, you think it's another character that you see later on in the film, and basically it's the good hunting the bad, which is playing around hunting the good, and vice versa. So it's really interesting play, and you never know which direction it will go. So it's suspenseful like that. Now, like I said, the acting is really bad. This is a micro budget film, so that's to be expected. But overall, I thought the writing was actually not that bad, except for the one hillbilly dude. He's super annoying. But overall, not too bad. Special effects are pretty believable in this film, considering that's a shot on video, like an old video camera you used to get from Future Shop or Best Buy before you could get phone cameras on your phone and stuff. It's made all the way back in '93, and it still looks semi decent today. So I give them props for that, but you can't really go very further. They definitely did the best they could with what they had and stuff. So overall, decent. The story's a little bit predictable, but overall it's still engaging and moving. And yeah, I'm surprised a lot of people don't really talk about this. You can find this on a lot of streaming sites. I'm pretty sure you can find the whole movie on YouTube. So definitely good if you can sit through the micro budget. This looks worse than the Asylum films and stuff, so it looks like someone filmed this in their backyard. So if you can sit through that for an hour and a half, definitely check it out. The story's pretty good, but be prepared for some pretty shoddy acting. So yeah, I'd probably rate this one at 2.5. I'm gonna give it right in the middle. It's not the best, but I've seen worse. So definitely check it out if you're really into these independent, obscure films. This definitely would be one up your alley. Or if you just like thrillers in general, you might like this one too. But if you're more into everything that comes to theaters and stuff, you probably hate it, like majority of mainstream people do. So, yeah, that's In the Dead of Winter, and yeah, check it out. Try to find it. It's actually better than I was expecting, better than some of the other ones I reviewed earlier. So, yeah, but now it's time to let my brain rot because I'm gonna go back to an old series that I was working on and finally got the the second sequel to it, so I could finally watch it and let my brain go to mush for an hour and a half. So definitely stick around. So make sure you subscribe so you can see what that film is. Like this video, comment down below if you've seen this. Let me know what you thought. Comment other thrillers down below as well that you want to hear my opinions on. Comment those down there. Share this video if you really want to. Trailer's linked in the description below if I can find it. And my Instagram's always linked down below too, so that's where I also post clips of films on my story. So that I'm going to review in the future, so make sure you follow me there. And yeah, so now it's time for me just to let my brain go to mush and enjoy some stupid horror comedy. So I'll see you in the next review.